For a November that's supposed to be so sweet, this went down awfully bitter. Well, welcome back to another unfortunate case of movie soulmates. My name's SoulKeever,
And I'm Astrid.
and we just watched Sweet November on DVD. Even though I think it was on HBO Max a little earlier, so we probably could have gone on there and watched it if we really wanted to. So, how did you feel about this movie?
You know how I feel about this movie. The only thing joyous about today is that this will be the last time I ever need to have this movie in my life.
Yeah, this movie's pretty bad.
This movie enrages me.
I really don't like this movie. This movie is just so bad.
Yeah. It's
Don't be fooled by the fact that Charlize Theron and Keanu Reeves are in it. It's absolute trash. I
Yeah.
actually really what happened was like last Thanksgiving I went looking for bad Thanksgiving movies and this made the list of just a list of Thanksgiving movies that I was looking through. I found it and I said to myself, okay, this has got kind of lousy reviews on it, but Keanu Reeves and Charlize Theron are in it, so how bad could it be?
How bad could it be? Indeed.
And so we joyfully popped it right into our DVD player, which I think was my PlayStation. And yeah, we hit play, and boy, things really went downhill fast.
Dare I say, this movie has zero redeeming qualities.
That's not completely true because it does have a couple of memorable parts, but that's really about it.
Memorable parts are not necessarily all redeeming qualities. There's overlap.
All right. So I'm just trying to throw the movie a bone.
Yeah, you can do that. I guess if you want to call something a redeeming quality, we'd go for the cast, but really that just ends up being a hook to trick you into watching the movie.
So
I'm so bitter about this movie. So bitter.
So what'd you think this movie was gonna be when I first proposed it to you? When I first decided, hey, let's watch this movie.
Okay, did you tell me she had cancer?
I feel like I probably did. It seemed to be a pretty big plot point in the synopsis.
Yeah. So I feel like I don't necessarily remember you telling me that. I just remember you saying this girl picks a guy for each month, right? Like she dates a guy for 1 month and then ditches him. So I kind of thought it would be almost like a how to lose a guy in 10 days sort of situation where she's going to have to be trying to shake him off.
Oh, okay.
Right? Which I guess technically she is trying to shake him off at the end, but it's not cute.
It's not fun.
And it's not fun, and the message is bad.
Mm-hmm. I guess I really expected this movie to be... I expected it to be sad. I expected it to be kind of this just tragic romance movie because I read the synopsis before I got it, and I didn't expect to walk away with a happy ending or anything, but I guess I just expected it to have a better flow of plot, and I expected better acting. And I got none of those things. I expected maybe there to be more touching moments and more character development between the two of main characters and Charlize Theron's character too, because her character is so poorly portrayed here. I don't think it's necessarily her fault, but the fact that it's written this way is just tragic in itself.
Yeah.
That's the most tragic thing about the movie.
Yep. Yeah, how dare they? So you kind of thought it would be like a less Christian A Walk to Remember.
Yeah, pretty much. That's a good way of describing it. I thought it was going to be a lot like that, where instead of sticking around, like happened in that movie. I've never seen that movie, by the way.
They get married at the end, and then she dies the next summer, yeah.
Yeah.
And he becomes a doctor because she straightened his life out, because our mission in life is to fix men.
I really don't like these manic pixie dream girl plots where
he was the manic pixie dream boy in that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I really don't like these plots where the girl is inserted into the script or the dude is inserted into the script just to fix this dumbass person.
Yep.
Straighten your own damn self out.
Yep.
Good God.
Yeah, ridiculous. Yeah, that is bad.
Anyway, I've never seen Walk to Remember, but I've read about it and I've heard about it, so that's what I really expected from this movie. I expected pretty much a Walk to Remember with
But with
Charlize,
grown-ups, yeah.
but with grown-ups and Charlize Theron and Keanu Reeves. And boy, did I get a kick in the pants. I really was not expecting the movie to be this awful.
Yeah, no. A Walk to Remember, if you can tolerate the overtly religious morals in it, is not a bad movie. It's fine. It's like she has cancer, but she's stopped responding to treatment, and she doesn't want it to affect how people treat her, so she doesn't tell them, right? And so she starts dating this boy who's like the troublemaker, but like she's only going to be interested in him if he's interested in what she's interested in, so he has to like join the school play and like stop getting his friends to jump off of bridges, you know. Stop being...
Why are they jumping off of bridges?
Because they were being little daredevils.
Sounds like they're just thinning out the herd.
Yeah, they were. This kid like broke his legs or spine or something, wound up in the hospital for the rest of the movie. That's how the movie opens. And so this kid like goes to juvie or something for, you know, being the little instigator. So that's why he's the little badass.
Okay. Never seen the movie. Don't know if I really want to now. That sounds really dumb.
Okay, I'm not describing it well. I promise it's not a bad movie. And you get to hear Mandy Moore sing, which is always nice.
Oh, God.
I enjoy her singing.
I don't want to hear an actor sing. Unless it's a damn musical. I really don't want to hear him sing.
Well, they're singing because they're in a musical.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're in the school play. It's a musical. Anyway, better movie than this, because the message isn't people with cancer don't deserve love.
All right, so what I'm picking up here... What I'm picking up here is that she had cancer and she got treatment and the treatment didn't work.
Yeah. At some point, the treatment stopped working and they figure out that she's probably terminal because she has leukemia or something. Yeah, leukemia.
All right.
The childhood cancer.
Okay. Well, why don't we go into what this movie actually was? And, well, I guess we're already describing it here. It was a ripe turd.
Yep. They decided, what do we do? Like, what happens if you give a manic pixie dream girl cancer?
And then you just, unlike A Walk to Remember, she just doesn't bother getting treatment at all.
Yeah. I think she sees, like, one doctor, and, like, it's not working, even though she's, like, fine for the first half of the movie. So something is working, because that's not just painkillers.
Yeah, the way that the way this movie works is that she's just running around doing cartwheels. Like, this is the timeline of this movie is like there's a month that the main characters spend together, and not even a month, like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, so they start their relationship right at the beginning of November because they meet around the end of October. So they're only together for maybe 3 weeks. And during these 3 weeks, these initial 3 weeks, she's doing cartwheels. Yep. She's got all kinds of energy. She's doing Dance Revolution and everything.
She's walking a bunch of big dogs on the beach.
She's teeming with energy.
Right.
And meanwhile, like, just
running around going shopping, carrying her groceries to the DMV.
Three quarters of the way into the movie we find out she's riddled with cancer because she's got non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Yep, yeah.
Unchecked.
In the words of her friend, oh yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah. And knowing this, I'm thinking to myself, man, she gets around awfully well for having terminal cancer to the nth degree.
Right.
And she doesn't show any side effects until Keanu Reeves decides, God, what the hell is even this guy's name? I don't remember. I remember her name.
I don't even remember her name.
Who gives a shit? But Keanu Reeves here, he asks her to marry him, and that's when she suddenly starts throwing up.
Yup, yeah. Which I respect. The idea of marriage also makes me nauseous, but I'm not sure that's what they were going for.
No, I'm not sure. I don't think that was what they were going for, but it did send a good message, I think. That's probably the most positive thing about this movie.
Right, that's the only GIF-worthy moment in this movie.
Is that she vomited. She vomited as soon as he asked her to marry him.
Yep. But, like, up until then, she was eating normally, her weight was fine, her energy was fine, her movement was fine, her strength was fine. And apparently so was her concentration because her driving was apparently okay.
I'm after the fact too. I was thinking to myself, if she's only like a month away from death, why is she even bothering to go get her license renewed?
Yeah, that's a dark but decent point.
Literally, I mean, it seems like at the end of the movie here, she's near death because she had to go to the hospital and she was hooked up to an IV and a bunch of breathing machines and shit.
Yeah.
And her one request was to get her out of there.
Yeah, he pulls out her, like they do in the movies, he just pulls out her IV. Like, you don't probably want somebody skilled to pull out that long-ass needle.
Yeah, and like I say, she's at the DMV to get her license renewed, and she has to reapply in 30 days. And meanwhile, I'm thinking to myself, she ain't got 30 days.
No, based on the timeline of this movie, I don't think she does. She was literally dying at the end. Although even then, okay, because they have her like so weak that he has to carry her out of the hospital, and then in the final scene, we again have her running down the street all the way into a park. And then they have Keanu Reeves having trouble catching up with her. You're having trouble catching up with the terminally ill girl? Like, really?
Oh my god.
Really? How out of shape is Keanu Reeves' character?
Well, he's an ad exec, so that means he spends most of his time sitting at a desk thinking of ideas of how to promote crappy products like hot dogs. Which happens to be his first assignment that we see, well, his first and only assignment that we see in this movie. Because his job is to promote this hot dog brand that's a family hot dog brand, according to the guy who manages it.
Dippity Dog or Diggity Dog?
Diggity Dog or something like that. It's some brand that Diggity Dog. Diggity Dog.
Yeah. Dr. Diggity Dog.
Dr. Diggity.
He had the little thing on him, right?
Oh, it was dumb. He wakes up at the beginning of the movie and he's bragging himself, "You're top dog, top dog.
Top dog, big dog."
And I'm just thinking to myself,
dog.
is he trying to build himself up, or is he actually fantasizing about hot dogs when he wakes up?
I couldn't figure that out. Also, I was like, is he calling himself a dog, or is he hypothesizing about how to sell these hot dogs? Is he going with a literal dog angle? Because don't sell these hot dogs as made of dogs. That's a bad idea.
I think he's actually thinking of angles to sell these things because he's supposed to be a really successful ad exec.
Top dogs eat the best dogs.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Woof.
In the end, the glorious presentation he comes up with is it's a hot dog,
yes.
Which he comes up with after biting into the dog and says, "Ooh, that's a hot dog."
Yes, and then he has that light bulb moment. It's a hot dog.
And then
hot dog.
You wonder how this man ever got into the ad business.
Right, because they do. They start off with, like, you're the best in the business. That's why we sent you to get this giant account of the biggest hot dog manufacturers in the United States. And then he goes there and he's like, but are hot dogs sexy enough? Why don't we have girls making blowjob faces at the hot dogs?
Yeah, he's got all these cartoons. There's like this devilish satanic family gathered around the grill waiting for their hot dogs.
Yep.
There's kids at the beach gazing sinfully at the hot dogs.
Yep.
Waiting
what do they want? They want a hot dog.
Suck them down. Then at the end, he has a woman posing with a hot dog like it's a giant dildo.
Yep. And it's like she's sitting behind like this guy who's like, you can just see his like, butt crotch area.
And then he's just looking at...
And the line of sight, yep.
He's going through all these pictures talking about what we want are sin dogs. And he's looking at the client saying, "It's a hot dog."
Yep. And the client, you can just see his eyes be like, Sir,
this is a family business.
Get out.
We are not selling penetrative hot dogs.
Right. And then it'd be like, okay. And a smart ad exec at this point would have just changed his angle, right? Not this guy.
This guy doubled down.
He went in hot, started insulting the man whose account he's trying to score, and be like, look, this family-friendly hot dog stuff isn't gonna get you to the next level. Let's get real.
Everyone wants to eat hot dogs and get laid.
Right.
That's the angle here.
Right. And he keeps going until he gets literally thrown out of the meeting.
I have to say that it's a tragedy that this scene is not a meme on the internet because it is so funny. It's a hot dog.
Yeah.
I have half a mind to make a GIF out of this.
You should. You should. It's the only good thing about this movie. The only thing that you risk is setting this movie upon the world. Because once you make a GIF, sometimes people go looking for the source.
Well, maybe people need to know how bad it is.
Do they, though?
Yes. Maybe then they'll stop posting sad Keanu memes.
Yeah, maybe. Speaking of how awful this movie is, can we just talk about the fact the plot itself is the worst thing in the world? Like, why? What woman is walking around offering the kind of deal that Charlize Theron's character is offering here?
It is the most insane plot point. It's a plot point from a movie that belongs back in the 40s.
Right. Oh, that would have been scandalous in the 40s. Whew. I can only have one man a month, and then it's your part of this is that you need to move into my house rent free while I devote myself entirely to you. You're not allowed to work. You just have to let me be at your beck and call.
I don't.
This is non-negotiable.
You know, when I really think about it, I can't think of an era where it would actually belong. Because what is there?
Yeah, we've never been allowed to be that sexually liberated, and we certainly haven't been allowed to be that financially liberated.
What era would this even belong in? The 70s?
I don't know. What country would this belong in? Because we know they're in America, so she's bankrupt from her cancer treatments.
What kind of money does she have that she's living on? Well, I guess she didn't get any cancer treatment now that she's dying.
Yeah, well, but still, because isn't her whole argument it doesn't work? Like, I went somewhere and it stopped responding, or the guy claims that. I think her downstairs neighbor.
Oh, I don't remember. I don't think she did anything.
No, she didn't even do anything. Wow. Oh, yeah, because that's why her family's mad. Be like, they want me to get treatment, and I just want to live my life.
Yeah, well, you're not going to live your life for much longer.
No, she's not. So your family's understandably upset. And, like, we know she doesn't really have any money because her whole shtick is, like, I don't care about money. And she has that whole plot point where she used to have that, like, pet company, pet grooming or something company, and she got out before it got really big.
Well, it would have made sense.
Anymore.
It would have made sense for her to be independent and just living her life, well, the rest of it, financially independent and all that, if she's had gotten rich under that company.
Yeah.
But since she left before it got big, where the hell is she getting her money? Is she like just getting a few bucks here and there from the company?
Right? I don't know. Like, disability, if she's on that because of the cancer, makes you be poor to get it, so
I don't know, dude.
Like, you're literally not allowed to have more than like $2,000 in assets or something.
That's
really bad. Like, you can't even have a car, sort of thing.
Why even?
Yep.
God bless America.
Bad. It's bad.
All right.
Bad. Anyway, yeah. So it's impractical, and it makes no sense. Nobody's doing that. Women aren't making that deal. Men aren't making that deal. I mean,
the deal that she offers this guy, like we said, it's just that he comes and lives with her for a month, and she's at his beck and call, more or less.
Yep.
And the only condition is that he cannot work.
Yep.
Even though, I don't know why. He can't have his cell phone. He can't have his watch.
Yep.
Apparently he has to eat vegan.
Yeah. Maybe she should aim for something higher calorie.
Maybe she should have some ice cream here and there.
Yeah.
Maybe she should have a steady diet of split banana sundaes.
Right. You got to be eating something higher calorie if you didn't lose every last ounce on your cancer treatments that you didn't get them. That's why. Although, no, cancer still wrecks you. So it makes no sense. Why does she look like Charlize Theron if she's literally dying?
I have no idea. So this offer doesn't make any sense, and
neither do other things.
They do other things in this movie. Like they walk around town like it's the most casual thing in the world, and they meet this kid named Abner who's just kind of hanging out outside all the time. You never see his parents at all. You never meet them at all. He apparently doesn't have a dad, and his mom is never around, so you don't know what's going on with him. But even so, Charlize Theron character acts like a mother figure to him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long she's even been living there. How long she's been living there, like that she knows this kid.
I don't know. I get the impression she makes friends with people really quickly. But does she know the mom? Because we have never seen the mom, and you can't just take somebody's kid off the property whenever you want to go hang out, especially if you're not clearing it with the mom. You can't just trust that the kid is actually clearing things with the mom, because he's obviously got a little bit of a home life situation going on. He's clearly some kind of latchkey kid.
He's like 10 years old, or maybe less.
Yeah,
and
I think he's 10.
And he's treating Sarah and Keanu here as a mother and father figure, parental figures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he even asked Keanu's character to go with him to, Father's
Sunday.
Father's Sunday over at his Sunday school thing.
Yeah, and then it's on Monday, so I think it's regular school. I think
is it regular school?
Yeah, he might go to like a private school or a Christian school of some kind.
Oh, whatever.
Which I'm not sure how that makes sense with his absentee mother, unless she's like rich absentee. But you get the impression that she's poor absentee, and that's why they're like being charitable with him.
Yeah, if she's poor, how the hell does she afford a house in this neighborhood? Because, there's an ad exec living in the same building as Sara Deever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's making money. He's making the same kind of money Keanu's character is.
Mm-hmm.
He works for the rival firm.
Yeah. She could be like a live-in, though.
Okay, so maybe he's giving her the room upstairs?
Yeah, like a domestic work situation.
Okay.
Sometimes, rich people who don't like to clean their own places.
Yeah.
Like, I actually had somebody in my elementary school class who had a live-in maid.
That might be, but they never really establish it, so we can't assume it.
We don't know.
Here's the thing, we can only assume what they give us.
Yes, but they give us a very polite, unassuming little boy. So I am inclined to think he wasn't raised with a shitload of money, because those kids get snotty.
I thought this kid was maybe homeless or something.
Right? You don't get the impression that he's a wealthy little boy. You really don't.
No,
You don't.
No.
He dresses a little bit shabby. He's very excited about his little boat competition, and his boat is clearly like made by himself with little materials that he got himself.
The boat competition where Keanu goes and pays some engineer with a submarine to go sink the other ships so that little Abner here can win.
Mm-hmm.
And he does win.
Yep.
And Sarah is sort of happy, sort of not, because he cheated.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like, it's a sweet intention and I'm glad you're getting emotions. But also, this kid is going to be let down a lot in life. There's another reason why I feel like he's poor. This kid's going to be let down a lot in life, so he needs to be prepared for that.
Maybe he should just... I don't know how I feel about this one. I'm on the side of just let the kid have the one win.
Yeah, if you know he's going to be let down a lot, then you know he's going to have plenty of time. Get used to that. And
he's probably already been let down a lot.
Right? We literally never see either of his parents. What makes you think he's not used to getting let down?
This is probably the only win he's ever had in forever.
Yep.
So let him just have it and enjoy it.
Yep.
Even if it was a win by cheating.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, man.
Yeah, who cares? Who cares?
Who cares? It's just it's a stupid boat race. It's not like he won a bunch of money.
Yeah, have you never when you were a kid played a board game with your parents, or as an adult played a board game with a child? You cheat in reverse so that they win. You know you do.
Mm-hmm. Well, not my dad.
Ah, yeah, no, well, your dad.
My dad cheated. My dad cheated to win.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
You would cheat all the time.
My mom would always let me win Pretty Pretty Princess.
Oh, of course you would. I remember playing Pretty Pretty Princess.
Wasn't it fun?
Yeah, it was kind of a fun game.
Mm-hmm.
I think we played it with your brother once and he kind of freaked out.
Oh. At yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Or maybe he was uncomfortable with the game, I don't know.
No, I'm sure I would have made him play that game with me when I was a kid.
Oh. I think the fact that I was so into it might have unsettled him a little bit. Because I was really anxious to be the prettiest princess.
You very much were. You made it a whole competition. It was kind of cute.
Yeah.
You're ridiculous. You're ridiculous.
So, we're back into the movie now, and when we see, like I said, when we see Sara Deever, she's completely fine for most of the movie. And then suddenly, Keanu goes and gives away the dog that she collected because she rescued a couple of dogs from like this laboratory at the beginning of the movie after she demanded a ride from Keanu for screwing her out of renewing her license.
Oh, yeah, I need to go pick something up. And so then they get there and she puts on a wig and big sunglasses and is like, you'll wait for me, right? And then takes his keys. Of course you will.
Yeah, she goes to his house and then just keeps on going and going and going, demands a ride and wants him to take her places and stuff.
Accuses him of being a flasher.
Yeah, she screams all these slanderous things outside his apartment.
Yep.
To the point where he's threatening to call the police.
He probably should have.
And the doorman wanted to call the police.
Yeah, the doorman was like, I'm going to get fired for not sending this lady away.
This little doorman with an actor in brown face.
Oh my God, was he in brown face?
Yes, he was in brown face. It was obvious. He's just this little Jewish guy playing a Latino.
Oh God, that's not classy.
It's 2001. They still did that shit then.
Wow, yeah, okay. So there's finally a role for our people that's not playing some kind of gangster. And they got to give it to somebody else. Okay, then. Okay, whatever. Whatever.
So Manny here, who was...
Couldn't let us play a door hop instead of a carjacker. Fine.
Manny, the very obvious, brown face role, wanted to call the police, and he probably should have, because Sara Deever was acting pretty crazy here.
Yeah, she really was.
This woman was coming and delivering puppies in cardboard boxes. She was coming to the apartment and screaming slanderous lies.
Yep.
All because she couldn't renew her license that she wasn't going to get to use all that long anyway.
Yeah, which, honey, you're old enough to know that you shouldn't have been talking during a test at the DMV.
What is she, 30 years old here?
Right, you knew better. And her big mistake was she turned around to talk to him.
Which is really, really obvious.
Yeah, come on, you amateur.
So it's no wonder that the guy at the head of the room who was supervising the test is like, bring your test up here.
The only surprising thing is she didn't take his test, too. I was waiting for it, and then it never happened, and I was like, man, y'all look out for each other.
He should have gotten his test torn up, too, but he didn't.
He did not.
No, he got away with it completely.
Yep.
At least he was going to use his license, so whatever.
Wow. Rude.
Well, he's not the one who's going to die in a month.
Rude.
What is she worried about? She can just drive around anyway. No one's going to care.
Yeah, once they arrest her, put her in the jail, she's like, well...
3 weeks, she's not going to be able to drive anyway because she's going to be incapacitated.
And she was. And they live in a big city, so you get the impression that there's not really a lot of people who drive there. I thought they were in, New York or something.
No, I think they were in San Francisco. It didn't really look like New York because New York has a lot more skyscrapers.
Yeah, okay.
So there's at the very least, there's a lot of public transportation, which apparently she took anyway because she demanded Keanu's character take it with her. So why is she even bothering to go renew her license?
Oh, yeah, and he got her a bunch of Metro tokens, so...
Yeah. So, there's all these plot points that don't really add up. Why is she going to the DMV? She's not driving. She takes the bus.
I don't know. Why has she got time to go to the DMV? She's not seeing... You're not okay, I get that she's not seeing an oncologist, but she's clearly seeing some kind of pain doctor. Because she has so many meds in her cabinet.
Yeah, we never see this chest until after he asked her to marry him. And as soon as that happens, after he's done giving a puppy away and talking to Abner and looking out at the city and seeing his life clearly, supposedly for the first time, he decides, all right, I'm going back inside and I'm asking Sara to marry me. And he did. First thing she does is she barfs and then she goes into her pain cabinet.
Yep.
And this chest on the wall that's got a little lock on it that doesn't even have a key. You just turn the lock and boom, there it is.
Oh, I think she just left the key in there.
Maybe she did, but it's a wonder that Keanu hasn't seen this sooner. He's got a whole chest full of medications and he's looking at this going, what the hell?
Right. And I don't think they really show necessarily a bunch of what they are. Not enough to know, just looking at them. I don't think always what, that it's going to be like, oh, she has cancer. But, he looks at her and he's like, what's going on?
Yeah, but It's a
Right?
it's a cabinet that has about 50 bottles of pills in there.
Yeah, like at that point, you look at it and it kind of just looks like she's an addict. It doesn't necessarily look like she's a cancer patient.
She might have an opioid addiction, my
Yeah,
man.
that's what it looks like. So, I don't know. And then she's like, is this what you wanted to see? You wanted to see me like this? And he's like, yeah, I guess. I wanted to see what was going on. Sorry. She like freaked out at him about, you can't see me like this. Like, women have to be perfect.
Yeah, that's another thing that really gets you here is that she, the way that women are portrayed as the way they're supposed to be, or the way that Sarah thinks that her presence is supposed to be, is a little unnerving, and it's kind of offensive. Well, it's not.
It is offensive.
It's offensive to people who are in this kind of situation, and it reminds me a lot of the movie The Bucket List, where Roger Ebert tore into the movie because Roger Ebert had cancer. And then he watched The Bucket List because that movie centers around a couple of guys who have cancer, and they decide to go pal around for most of the movie and go do a bunch of things on their quote-unquote list before they die. A bucket list.
Yeah.
Instead of spending time with their families. And Roger Ebert said, this movie is horse shit.
Right?
And it's offensive to people who do have cancer like myself.
Yep.
Because we're not going to go around gallivanting around the world with somebody we barely know instead of spending as much time with our families before we can.
Yep. Exactly. So, yeah, and she's like, I'll make up with them someday because she doesn't want to talk to her family. She won't see them for Thanksgiving. And it makes no sense. I don't know. It's bad. And it's also, it's offensive that they're like, her whole reasoning is like, oh, I can live forever, like perfectly through you. The only thing I'm going to have when I'm gone is your memory of me. Like, she doesn't have best friends living downstairs who take care of her and care about her so much that they cook food with her and do holidays together and bathe her when she's not feeling well. And, like, a family that doesn't love her even though she won't, or that loves her even though she doesn't talk to them. And, like, a child who loves her like a surrogate mother. Like, none of their memories can memorialize her in a more complete way than the dude you've known for 25 days.
Like, her friends, what about their memory of her? They're gonna remember her through the good times and the bad times. And what about her family's memory of her? They're not gonna remember hardly anything because she didn't want to be anywhere near them at the end.
Right?
All they're gonna know is everything before, but they're not gonna know what she went through. And that's probably really upsetting for them.
Yeah.
Because they don't really have any kind of closure.
No, they don't.
And then there's this guy that she decided to get close to. And it's not a bad thing, because it's not, the way this movie is presented is that it's presented as though people with cancer don't deserve to have love too.
Yeah. It would be selfish of them to put another person through experiencing their illness. Like, way to center somebody else.
And then, even after finding out what's going on, this guy decides to sally forth with it.
Yeah, which a lot of people do in relationships. Like, my aunt's an oncology nurse. She sees that all the time. There are people who come in and take care of their dying spouse in the hospital while they have, horrific forms of cancer. Like, it's definitely a thing that people love each other through hard times.
So, this guy's only known her for, 3 weeks or something, and he decides, I'm gonna stay here anyway.
Yep.
Which, okay, more power to him.
Right.
And somehow she thinks she doesn't deserve to have that.
Yeah. No, you can't see me like this. It would be the worst thing ever. Like, it's okay to be vulnerable. Like, why are you trying to be his emotional coach if you don't understand that it's okay to be vulnerable?
It felt like she was just projecting her own insecurities this entire goddamn movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I can fix you.
Yep.
When apparently she's the one that needs more fixing than him.
Yep. She's got to fix all that internalized ableism.
I mean, this guy is kind of a horse's ass for some of the movie, but at least he at some point during the movie, he realized what he wanted and said, you know what? She's dying, but I want to be with her anyway.
Yeah. He realized I'm happier now than I've ever been, and that matters to me, which is kind of supposed to have been the entire lesson that she was teaching him, so she should have been excited that he came to that realization. Instead, she's like, no, you're wrong. You should go back to your old life.
God damn, I can't tell you how much I hated the ending of this movie.
It made no sense.
The ending really pissed me off.
Why would you tell him to go all the way away? Like, why wouldn't you at least want him to stay friends with, like, her downstairs, like, neighbor friend is a drag queen, and you kind of get the impression based on the way that he talks to Keanu Reeves and Charlize Theron that, like, he is of the age where he's lost friends in the AIDS epidemic, so, like, he's loved people through death. So why wouldn't you want them to stay friends so he can help him through that?
Because clearly at this point, this guy's going to need some kind of grief support.
Yeah, exactly. He needs grief support. He's clearly never, been close to people. He talks about how he doesn't really have parents. Like, he bought the house that he used to live in as a kid, but he doesn't really have parents. And I don't know. I don't know that he's dealt with, like, intimate loss.
No, I don't think he has. And not to mention, the guy downstairs, the drag queen, is also an ad exec who has some ties to a rival corporation or rival agency that he was competing with, but now that he's unemployed after getting fired for botching It's a Hot Dog
yes,
at the beginning of the movie, he could have set him up with a nice job then.
Yeah, he's looking for work. He could have helped him. Apparently he's the Chaz. He's a big deal.
It could have helped him move on. But they never addressed that.
Nope.
And they probably should have. They could have showed maybe him, getting with her and doing whatever, and then her dying eventually because, she only had so long.
Yeah.
But then, he goes to his new job that, her neighbor and his new friend set him up with.
Yeah, and they could have shown that he still took something from their relationship and that he's crafting a new, more meaningful life.
And he's still friends with the gay couple.
Yeah, like, and then that would have shown that it's not like his old life was 100% wrong, because I'm sorry, but most people's lives aren't 100% wrong, even when they're doing the wrong thing,
Like, this guy needs to have a job eventually.
Yeah.
He can't just lounge around. She got mad at him for going out and looking for work at some point.
And there's a line that I have a problem with in this where, because she's like, do you like your work? And then he's like, snips at her like, well, people tend to enjoy what they're really good at.
So he likes what he does.
Yeah, so my problem with is that they treat that like it's some kind of snarky bad thing, and it's like, no, that's an entirely valid point, and I agree with it. Like, people, it's validating to be good at something.
Yeah. Instead, she poo-poos everything he does, and then at the end of the movie, they just part ways in one of the harshest ways possible.
Yep.
Where she blindfolds him and just
abandons him in a park.
And meanwhile, I'm thinking to myself,
in the cold.
I'm thinking to myself, while this is happening,
and then he sniffs her scarf.
Yeah, it's dumb.
So sad.
I'm thinking to myself while this is happening, like, they just admitted they both love each other. My God, man, grow a fucking pair and just, like, hold on to her and don't let go. This is one of those times where you have a license to do it, man.
Yeah, come on.
Stop being such a wuss and just... She's clearly not in her right mind.
Right? You fought so much harder for It's a Hot Dog than you did for the supposed love of your life.
He folded like a pack of cards.
Yeah, he just kind of sat there like, okay.
Like a cheap table he folded.
Like, you're a little too used to letting her call the shots.
Dude, hold on to her until she starts talking some sense. At least, she says she's going to move back home to her family. Tell her you're going to go with her then.
Yes, exactly. Because, yes, it's good for her to go home to her family, but, he's entitled to...
She's not in her right mind.
Have some closure.
She's not in her right mind. You've already both admitted you love each other. Just tell her how things are going to be. Just insist.
Yeah. Because
don't let her tell you different.
Yeah, because the thing about chronic and terminal illnesses is you're going to have those bad days where you're not thinking super clearly, and like pain fog is definitely a thing. So she might not have been thinking clearly there.
The very least he could have done is after that stupid scarf scene, he could have gotten his balls back and marched right back to her goddamn apartment because she's going to go back there.
Yeah, you know where she lives. She don't have a car. It's not like she can get far fast. She's got cancer. She got winded as soon as she got to the park. That's why you caught up with her. Why'd it take you that long, though? I don't know.
Instead, he just walks away.
Yeah.
And the movie ends.
Yeah.
What a bunch of shit. What an unsatisfying ending.
Yes. Woefully unsatisfying. They deserved love, you know? Like, it would have been hard, but it's already going to be hard for them.
It's not even like the fact that this movie is, like, bad that really, really upset me. It's not even the fact that it's got a tragic story that upset me. It's the fact that it's got such an unsatisfying ending that really, really clinched the deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And even after I was done, even hours and a couple of days after watching it, just thinking about it pisses me off still.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's not right.
Ugh.
It's not right. People with cancer also deserve love. Terminally ill people also deserve love.
And as we were watching the credits, I was just saying, fuck you to every single person who made this movie. I was saying it to the writer, the director, the producers.
Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah, like what a terrible message. And that, I think, was the most upsetting thing because that message kind of blindsided me about this movie. Because I thought it was supposed to be a romantic movie, right? So I'm expecting them to end up together because 99% of the time in a Hollywood movie they do. And my stepdad is terminally ill. And so for the message of this to be like, don't be selfish, let your loved one go before they see you in pain.
Yeah, that was the message. That was awesome. Thank you, guys.
It's enraging.
Oh, God.
I'm going to be glad to have this movie out of my life forever.
Well, why don't we go to our Amazon reviews now, because I think we about covered everything that sucks about this movie.
Yep.
All right. As always, we start with some 5-star reviews and some 1-star reviews, and we always begin with the 5-star reviews. We got 3 of each.
Oh, whoa.
So let's go to Ray.
5-star review.
Let's go to Ray, who says, Keanu and Charlize, come on now. I love this damn movie so much, says Ray. 5 stars.
Shockingly, nobody found that helpful.
No, it was not helpful at all. Thank you, Ray. By the way, this movie blows, so go away.
Right! Got terrible taste and offensive values.
I'm sorry, but you have objectively terrible taste if you like this movie. If you like this movie, there's something wrong with you. You need to do some introspection. Because there's absolutely no redeeming quality whatsoever about this piece of trash, other than hot dog. literally the only good part of the movie.
Yeah, it's the only thing that makes you laugh.
And it's all downhill from there.
It really is. Just watch that scene and then find that scene on YouTube, watch it, and then don't watch anything else on it ever.
Yeah. And then our next review is from Irene, who says, you don't know what you're missing. My favorite movie of all time. Charlize Theron is great in this movie along with Keanu Reeves. Their chemistry is incredible. I feel bad about giving a review and not saying much, but I don't want to spoil it. It rocks. All I'm saying is things happen for a reason. There's a message behind all this. Well, the movie, duh. Can you figure it out?
What?
Take care. Please, please, give it a chance.
Why take care in there? What? Irene, honey.
Irene might be an idiot.
Irene, this movie's so bad. Good message.
We've watched this movie twice. There is a message, and it sucks.
Yeah, there's a message, and I hate it.
In fact, if you like it, as I say again, watch. You need to do some introspection because you might be a really shitty person.
Yep.
And our last 5-star review comes from Bella.
Oh, boy.
Who says, best romance film ever.
What? Oh, yeah. This is by far the most amazing romance film ever. I mean, almost every girl loves The Notebook, and I myself am not knocking it. But this movie has got to be the best romantic movie ever. Many would say it has a horrible ending, but I'd love to differ. It teaches us to appreciate life, love, and those around us. It's just too good to explain, but I would suggest you see it for yourself. Okay, it teaches us to appreciate those around us. They sent each other away.
Teaches us to appreciate those around us. She takes her neighbors for granted and sends the man who loves her away.
Yep.
That's the beginning and end of it.
Yep.
She sends him away because she doesn't believe she deserves to be loved while she's dying.
Yep. It's the opposite of Teaching you to appreciate life, love, and those around us.
Fuck you.
Yep.
That's what I got to say about that.
Yep.
Well, why don't we go to our dissenting opinions now?
Okay.
Who the sane people?
Yes.
In this quagmire.
Yes.
And we'll begin with this is a weird name. Emick Mullen or something like that. Whatever. Close enough. Hashtag eye roll.
Mm-hmm.
Don't bother. This is just another pull at your heartstrings flick romanticizing the you create your own reality school of thought with the noble self-sacrifice and choosing death on one's own terms. And everyone else be damned, because creating your own reality and choosing death is noble and courageous. Tripe.
Okay. I have nothing to disagree with there.
That every word of that was accurate.
That's incredibly accurate. Normally, these are a little more...
crazy?
Yeah, but I got nothing to knock there, guy with the weird name.
You know what's the most fucked up thing about this is that on Sweet November, there's like 1,000 some odd reviews, and most of them are a good portion of them at least are on the 5 stars, and there's only about 50 or 60 negative reviews of this.
Wow.
So there's a lot of ableism out there.
Yeah, everybody else is...
A lot of people are looking at this saying, exactly. I'm down with that message.
And that's why the murder rate of disabled people by their caregivers is so high in this country. And then those people never get properly prosecuted because everybody's like, well, wouldn't you do that if you were in those circumstances? And sane people are like, no, it's murder.
Our next review comes from Tina, who says, mute this. If you must see this, then it's by mistake, like me, or by force. I wanted to like this, but no, I couldn't. If you must see this, hit the mute button, because the actors are beautiful to look at, but the story is unbelievable, as well as the idea that Keanu is a good actor.
Ouch! Coming in hot!
Does anyone else out there see the resemblance between Charlize and Angelina Jolie? I think this is the only reason I kept watching, because I thought Charlize looked like Angelina.
What?
And like Angelina, movies have a hard time putting them in a sweet, believable love story.
What?
I don't know.
Okay, they look nothing alike, though.
Oh man, that went off the rails quick.
What? Tina, you started off so strong, and you ended so weak.
Oh wow, that was good. Okay, woo.
Can we just take a second to appreciate that the review under that was titled "This November is Anything But Sweet"?
Yes, I know. And there's another one here that says "Sweet Agony." All right, our last review comes from Tom, who says, laughable, another Keanu comedy classic.
As in The Devil's Advocate, Keanu Reeves in Sweet November tries to play a talented professional who has reached the top of his profession, in this case, a successful but heartless advertising executive. To suggest that Reeves is in over his head is to understate the situation. The man simply cannot make me believe that he has anything like an IQ. Ouch. I wasn't expecting the sentence to end that way.
Woo!
That man simply cannot make me believe that he has anything like an IQ. Not like an IQ of anything, just like an IQ.
In general.
Generally, yes. His big hot dog advertising campaign presentation is one of the funniest scenes in movie history. Mainly because one can sense that Keanu is working so very, very hard and is failing so very, very badly. It is hysterically funny, just like Elizabeth Berkley's big traumatic tantrums in Showgirls. It should be common knowledge by now. Keanu Reeves cannot act. He cannot act. He cannot act. Sweet November is a silly little bit of romance that is lifted straight into high camp heaven just by casting the inept Keanu Reeves. High camp? I'm not sure we saw the same movie.
Oh.
How are you going to review the entire movie and not mention cancer?
I have no idea. Evidently, that wasn't that really important a point to them.
High camp. Cute little movie. Did you only watch the first half?
He must have turned it off as soon as it got bad.
I may have turned it off a little too early.
Probably turn it off after 20 minutes. Swell.
Yep. Woof.
Well, Amazon reviews, everyone. We appreciate the insight. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Except for you, Tina. Yours got weird.
Yeah, that one was something. Really enjoyed Keanu getting raked over the coals here.
Poor Keanu. Almost as good as that time Tim Allen got raked over the coals.
Nothing is going to beat the time that Tim Allen got slayed in the reviews for Christmas with the Cranks.
Forever I will wait for a review that tops that one.
No review could ever top just the verbal abuse that was hurled at Tim Allen in the Christmas with the Cranks reviews that we read. My God, Tim Allen got cut down to size.
Oh my God. And it's like, I'm not saying Tim Allen doesn't have stuff to answer for, but damn.
That person wrote a treatise on how much they hate Tim Allen.
Yeah, I feel like that review was written by the person that Tim Allen snitched on to get out of prison. That's how personal that review felt.
Probably had enough of his shit.
Yeah. It was exceptional. You should check out that review we did.
Oh, boy.
It's worth it just to get to the end.
We might watch that again, we might watch Christmas with the Cranks again. I'm not sure yet. Anyway, what'd you learn from this movie?
That my mission in life should be to fix a man in a timely fashion so that I can move on and fix at least 12 men a year.
I learned that dogs are hot.
Yes. Yes, they are. I learned that you can run on the beach in socks.
I learned that you can let dogs off the leash at the beach.
Oh, yeah. Dog beach. Yep. I learned that you can carry a dog and a dishwasher in a Santa sack up a fire escape.
I learned it's
not hurt the dog.
Oh, I learned it's weird that, it's not weird to go to Father's Day with some kid that you have no relation to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I learned Father Sunday is on Monday.
I learned that you can apparently carry a dishwasher up the fire escape.
I said that!
I know, but it really needs to be emphasized here.
Hey, you cheater!
It really needs to be emphasized. He carried a dishwasher up the fire escape in a sack with a bunch of other shit. A literal dishwasher.
Yeah. So, again, can we just circle back to why couldn't he catch the girl riddled with cancer when she's running down the street in her nightgown?
Fine, I'll do another one here. I learned that a scarf makes an effective blindfold.
Oh, yeah, a knit scarf. Very effective. That's why all the criminals use it. Did I learn anything else at all?
I did. I learned cancer hits you all at once.
Oh. Yeah, I guess. I learned that Keanu Reeves can't really sing very well.
I didn't think it was that bad.
He wasn't that bad, but
I expected him to be a lot worse of a crooner.
Yeah. I don't know that it was I don't know. It didn't.
How the hell did he set that
It
up?
didn't fit in the movie, really. Like, they briefly mentioned that he wanted to be a singer as a child, and then, like, they circle way back around.
Didn't it seem like a dream sequence? Like, how the hell did he set that up so quickly? Like, he's a nobody at these clubs. Are they just going to let him up there and sing?
And he could have just paid him a bunch of money, but, like, maybe he shouldn't be acting like he still has a job. Like, paying $100 to fix a child's boat race. How much did he pay to get a slot at this, like, club in the evening to sing?
He's got to have bottomless pockets to have.
He probably does.
To just go around for a month with no work and, throw around money to get the stage at clubs and shit.
It's a hot dog, and he's got hot pockets.
Well, life lessons from Sweet November, everybody.
Yep.
We learned a lot from this movie, unfortunately.
A little too much.
So what's your final rating for this movie?
Don't watch it. I'm going to give it 5 bottles of pain meds, a poorly locked cabinet, neighbors that are way too generous, and the cutest little scruffy pups that you've ever seen.
I'm going to give it a hot dog.
Of course.
A sunken sailboat.
Yeah.
And a wasted... Actually, I'm going to give it some sweatpants with pumpkin on them.
Oh, yeah, she sat in them and didn't change.
Yeah, like she dumped over this bowl of pumpkin or squash or something that she was mixing up.
And then she just puts it back.
You know, it's another scene that shows us, oh, look at her. She's deteriorating physically all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
And she drops the bowl and it spills all the food on the floor. Then she just sits in it.
Yeah.
Why? I looked at that and said, don't sit in it, dumbass.
Right? And then she just sat there and then she doesn't change. But yeah, she went in the span of like 2 weeks from being able to carry her groceries around down the street to the DMV to not being able to hold a bowl of mashed pumpkin.
That happened.
Suspect.
It happened. Well, life lessons from Sweet November and
fuck this movie.
And life lessons from Sweet November, and also those are our ratings.
Yep. Also, random fact, the mom from Gilmore Girls is in this.
Who gives a shit?
But
She's
only
barely
in
there.
the beginning. I feel like she was big enough to have more than a cameo.
It's 2001. She's just a throwaway character.
She didn't do anything yet?
It's 2001. She wasn't really all that famous yet.
Okay.
It's not like she was in Bad Santa yet, even.
Oh, God, that movie.
Yeah, she appeared in Bad Santa like 2 years later or something.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a much better movie, by the way.
Yeah, that movie's fun.
Anyway, that's about all we got for Sweet November, so I really hope you enjoyed this, and I think that next time, we decided we wanted to do Christmas with the Cranks again.
Oh, yeah. I think we should. The movie's fun.
It is a lot of fun. We like Christmas with the Cranks, so we're going to do that one again.
I'm team the Cranks didn't do anything wrong.
No, they absolutely did not, and that's why the movie is so horrifying, and probably also why it only has 5% on Rotten Tomatoes. 5%. No kidding. I don't know if it's exactly 5, but it's around there.
Yeah.
The point is that the Cranks had every right to go on vacation. It's a little offensive the way that they got raked over the coals for wanting to go on a cruise for Christmas instead of do all the crap that their neighbors and their daughter wanted to.
Yeah, especially since their daughter wasn't even going to come home and they were like feeling sad about being empty nesters.
It's another one of those movies that leaves you with a really terrible lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, if you want to check out the movies that we're watching, we occasionally talk about them on Twitter, so check us out at Case of Movie. And if you want to see our latest episodes, go ahead and look at us on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to see some of our older stuff, and along with the video that we record for them, you can go ahead and watch us on YouTube at our YouTube channel, An Unfortunate Case of Movie. With that, we'll be back soon with Christmas with the Cranks, of course. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere yet, but we're going to find out very shortly. And until then, till next time, with love from us to you, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.